Good morning, good evening, good night. Dear Love Podcast, you can catch it on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Listen Notes, Google Music. You already know how this thing go. Let's get right into it. The best part of growing up is having an imagination. I was one of those kids who always had an imagination. I thought about everything from being a superhero to being a famous wrestler, a famous poet. But I always wanted to be some type of like animal. I used to always go to the library and run straight to the books, well, the kid books. Even when I got older, it was something about reading kid books. I read all of the little Goosebumps books, what was it like, Choose Your Scare, where you had to decide where it said go to page 55 or go to page 30, and then you end up dying. So I try to like go back and redo it. I used to read books and play the one board games like Clue. So like my I always liked the different type of stuff like that. But my favorite books to read was Animorphs. And I remember when they came out with a show. Now, the show ain't really do as well to me as the book. You know, the book is where you can really use your imagination and put things in places, stuff like that. Watching a TV show is just never the same. But I always wanted to be an Animorph. Well, I should say I always wanted to be some type of animal, be able to turn into something. So I would read the books, how they had people turning into alligators and all of that. I even used to go to the little book clubs. I want to say it was called Read It. I can't remember, but I was so into reading books. I would always get like all the Animorphs books. So I had a friend in elementary school named Lorenzo, and he knew how to make, I don't know if it was some type of effect or what it was, but sometimes I think about it and it's still like a dream to me, but he could make every animal sound. Well, not every single one, but he made like lion and man, everything, man. He knew how to do everything. And when he'd do it, it sounded so real. And I would be like, damn, how did he do that? So you know me already wanting to be an animal in a sense. I was like, man, I gotta try to see if I could learn how to do that. So I like tried, and of course it sounded horrible. But if I couldn't be an animal, the next best thing for me was actually going to the zoo. I think the zoo was pretty cool. Everybody, has been to the zoo in their life, but for me, it was a little different. I always wanted to go to the rainforest part. And you know what they always say? Don't feed the animals. Dear Love, episode 39. The first time I ever went to the zoo, I have to say like that I actually remember, I have to say it was with my school. Now, what school doesn't go to the zoo, right? So, you pack your lunch for the day. Your moms give you a couple dollars to, take out there. You get on the school bus, everybody's playing and having fun and joking and throwing things. But again, me, I'm just sitting back looking out the window and just telling myself, by the end of the day, I will be a tiger. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but again, I'm a kid and Animorphs did it, so why can't I? And again, Tobias from the Animorph series definitely turned into an eagle, and he's definitely turned into all type of stuff. So I know there's some possible way that I can do it because Animorphs is real, right? So we get to the zoo. Now, it's a difference between going to the zoo with your family and going with the school. They're telling everybody line up. Now, how do you feel like lining up is really going to work out with all these thousands of people? And as funny as it sounds, why do you always go to the zoo when it's super hot outside? Oh my gosh. And it had to be the day my mom put me on this damn jogging suit outfit. And I think it was purple. So a purple jogging suit, and I'm already black. Oh, God. The sun just beaming, and there's like no trees, so it's like straight sun action while you wait. But again, I always wanted to go to like the rainforest area, or go to the little where the gorillas is at and watch how the little. I mean, I just enjoyed all of that stuff, man. But again, I'm like, I want to see the real stuff. I want to see like people play with the animals and fight and that again. That's what I thought the zoo was like. Like before the first time I went, I thought it was gonna be something like that. So I'm thinking, well, this bologna sandwich that my mom gave me, I'm definitely gonna feed it to one of these animals. So you gotta show off for all of the women. Well, at this time it was little girls, but we kids, we gotta show off. So everybody want to act bad, but everybody had to like break into sections of different people going. So, but again, y'all know what my thing was. I was trying to become an animal. So I'm raw, I'm rar, rar. I'm doing all type of crazy shit. They probably looking at me like this purple outfit boy right here. What is he doing? But I'm walking around with this bologna sandwich. I really wanted to feed one of the animals. We finally get to see the gorillas, and I don't know, they was like sleeping, then they was jumping around and running and doing all type of craziness, but again, that ain't really what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a tiger or a lion. When I seen them, the zoo just wasn't enough, man. I seen the movie Lion King, and this ain't how the circle of life looked. I don't know why we got all these cages and animals locked up. What are they locked up for? Did they do something wrong, or they're not prisoners, are they? Because if they're prisoners, then should we be here as kids? And these are the things that go through a little kid's mind. But again, I want to see action. I mean, we at the zoo. Like, let's see some action, man. But of course, nothing ever happened. So that was the point when I gave up on the zoo. Then the next trip, I think I took with my parents. We might have went with the school before, but we went to SeaWorld. This is more up my speed. I get to see the animals do their thing. And of course, I'm a cheater because now I don't want to be a tiger or nothing. Now I definitely want to be some type of animal that could swim in the water. And again, it's come from reading books and different stuff like that. Imagination is the most beautiful thing, man. Like, sky is the limit when you actually sit back and just think. And, everybody's story could be different because nobody's would be the same. So, again, I took my zoo experience. Again, I had a goal in mind on what I wanted to do. Honestly, thinking back on that stuff, that's a lot of things we can apply to today. Why do you think so many people always revert to how things used to be? Whether it be music, whether it be games, whether it be styles of clothes. We always miss the past. That's what I feel like. And again, so imagination creates those things that we miss, though. Prime example, one of my favorite shows was Gullah Gullah Island. That's what I watched growing up. I used to watch Sailor Moon and Beyblade and all these different type of shows that I still would go back to now and watch. I remember the channel Boomerang when it was on DirecTV back in the day. My dad loved that station because it got Tom and Jerry and all of the old school stuff. So again, imagination created all those things. Imagination could take you anywhere. Literally. So back to SeaWorld. I just had to get that off my chest before I tell y'all this story. I definitely was going to try to jump in the pool and swim. Because again, my imagination. See, that's the problem with these shows too. They teach you to be what you want to be. Man, I want to be a dolphin, okay? Now, can you teach me to be a dolphin? Can you teach me to swim? Swimming. Knowing I couldn't swim at this time. But, we moved closer and closer for the show. And then when it was time to pet what is Shamu? Whatever the hell he is. Dolphin, bird, cat, whatever. So when it was time to pet him, of course I got scared. And I'm thinking like I don't want to do it. And, they gave you like the little fish to throw to the animals and stuff like that. So I tried that, I believe, one time. I got scared. I mean, I was a scaredy cat. Again, I wanted to be lions and all this stuff, but I was a scaredy cat. I finally did it though when I fed him. And it was like the happiest day of my life. So I had a new outlook on life. I'm like, you know what? So from now on, when I go back to these other places, I'm going to feed these animals. And I wanted to feed the real animals, not the little birdies and, oh, go feed the cat and dog. No, I want to feed them gorillas, them lions, stuff like that. And I always used to think too, reading books, watching the Animorph show, we all evolved from some type of animal. So I felt like I was I'm a Pisces, all right? So I get it. I get it. But I'm really a lion. Yeah, I'm a lion. So I watched how they do the little chart where they always did like the gorilla or whatever it was turning into a human and all of that stuff. So I was guessing that's what the Animorphs kind of did. So I was thinking like, okay, so which animal was I really? So I would think of different things. Like if I was a lion, I should be able to jump or I should be able to do this and do that. It never really worked out because I never figured out what kind of animal I was. Yeah. I know it seems weird, like that type of thinking, but it's people that think like that, though, that rule the world for real. And it's people like that who create like clones of dinosaurs and things like that. So again, I always wanted to just be some type of animal. I feel like if I was able to transform into an animal, I'd be cool. So even at the zoo, I used to just think of ways where I could try to, I don't know, get cool with the animal or something. And this was at a young age, man. So again, don't do what I did because I almost got in trouble for real. But trying to feed the animals, we throwing stuff and we just acting the fool, man. But it never really worked out the way I wanted it to. But it was cool because I still had the books that I could read and I guess just imagine how it would be if I could really turn into some type of animal. And I never really got a chance to feed like a gorilla or like a lion or something. I be watching those little videos where the guys be on those little trips and they be running next to the cheetahs and all that. Them niggas is fools, okay? You would be the fool going out there doing that. But I always wanted to try that, go on a safari or something like that, just to see the different animals, even though I'm a scaredy cat. I think it'd be something pretty cool. I know this one was kind of weird for people, but to each his own, man. Sometimes you gotta explore that different side of the world and become an animal. Dear love, T. Shaw. I'm out of here.